All right, we are live.
Okay. Welcome everybody. Call to order the May 13th Salem Public Library. Our chair is indisposed today, so she asked me to fill in. Welcome everybody. Is Gretchen on? We may have to skip to the minutes till Gretchen gets to us.
Nope.
Looks like not yet. All right. We're just gonna skip over that. Is there any public comment today, Bridget?
No public comment.
Okay. Then we'll go straight to information items and a tab update. We have Tab is here. Welcome.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Rika. I go to Sprague High School. I'm a junior and my pronouns are she.
Hi, my name is B. I share pronouns and I'm a junior at South Salem High School.
Since we last reported, TAB has completed a staff appreciation project for National Library Workers Day in April, which turned out adorable and awesome. We're continuing our work planning for next month's Teen Murder Mystery Party and assign roles at our April meeting. The Murder Mystery Party will take place from 2 to 4:30 on Wednesday, June 24th in Anderson Room A&P, and we would welcome volunteers from the Library Advisory Board who might like to assist at this fun, dramatic event. This month, we will be pitching an idea to TAB for helping orient and welcome new teens to the teen scene during our summer reading kickoff on Friday, June 12th. We'll also be focusing on a more detailed plan for the teen open floor event in July, and our main plan aligns nicely with the fall program planning with library staff are doing this month. So TAB will have a chance to give input on staff ideas and share their own ideas.
Following that, we're also going to be opening up TAB applications, which open in early June, close in July. And these select applicants will be invited for a panel interview in August. And the process of how the application works, or just selecting the people, will be basically interested TAB members from the form the panel and then rate the interviews. And then we also help make the final decisions about which applicants are offered a position on our board for the 2026 to 2027 school year. And then afterwards, once these selected members, they're invited to the first TAB meeting of the school year, which is in September, and which also acts as a celebration for our graduate seniors and our newest members. Thank you so much for this opportunity to report about our latest TAB activities, and we welcome any questions that you guys have.
Thank you very much. Well done. What will the volunteers be doing at the Murder Mystery Party?
Excellent question. So I envision helping with like refreshments, being additional grown-ups in the room because it's usually just and probably helping with the logistics of helping to assign characters and things, and just general kind of room monitor assistant.
Gotcha. And that was 2 to 4:30 Wednesday, June.
It is. Yes.
What was that date again, Sonia?
Oh, yeah, it was Wednesday, June 24th. 2 to 4:30 is when the event will be happening. Yeah, that would be delightful if anyone from lab.
All right, any other questions for our TAB?
I'm just curious, how many folks are graduating this year? Yeah.
Yeah, for people on.
Four, out of how many?
21.
That's how many's on the board, on the tab? Wow,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and so it's a really good reminder. Thank you. I was just working on our agenda before I came down. So we'll have 4 graduating seniors, and then there's always an opportunity around this time for any TAB members who are like, I just can't continue doing this, or for whatever reason, they don't want to move on with the group. So if there's anyone who chooses, like kind of self-selects to leave TAB, then we would have an opening for that person as well. I have not had that happen before, but our TAB members are incredibly busy, very dedicated students. And so it is quite possible that someone might be like, I can't. But our makeup right now skews heavily towards sophomores and juniors, which means that we'll have an increasing number of openings in the next couple of years.
Any other question?
I'm sorry, just as a follow-up, so is the 20% turnover or graduation, is that a good number, or is that an average number?
You know, it's a really good question. I think I've only overseen this a couple of times before. My first year, we only had 2 graduating seniors. And then last year,
In the past, it's been more heavily skewed towards for people in high school. So I'm pretty sure, I think a couple, maybe like 2 years or a year or so, when I was in TAB, there was at least 4 to 5 seniors that are graduating. There was quite a bit.
yeah, I feel like last year there were quite a few more.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Any other questions? You're welcome to stay, but you do not have to.
So much.
And
I think we all have other commitments.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
No worries. Thank you for taking the time to come to visit with us.
Absolutely.
For having. I'm going to do the chair's report, which should be pretty short. Sorry, I'm trying to read my own handwriting. Valerie asked city council meeting coverage. I can't remember how far out we went. I know you're gonna go to the May 26th meeting. Did someone sign up for June 8th? Or June 22nd? I can't remember how far out in the month we went.
I
Remember.
believe everybody did sign up. I have to look back up past,
Yeah, I'm on the,
You're on the, okay, so thank you, David. Does anyone recall signing up for June 22nd?
I believe the ones that were left, Valerie was gonna attend,
Okay.
hopefully, but,
Kara, I signed up for one, but I can't remember which one. Do you
Okay.
have a list?
I don't, that's part of my current impediment is not having the list of signups, so.
Okay.
As long as we have out to June 8th, we can, our next meeting is the June 10th, and we can assign the next set out at the next meeting, if that works for everybody. And then I might write it down this time.
Okay. Well, if nobody's doing June 8th, I'll sign up for that one.
I got that one, but
David's
okay.
gonna do that one.
Got it.
Okay, and then she also asked if Sonia and Christy had event support needs, which it sounds like we have a murder mystery need, so.
murder mystery, and Sonia is, was gonna provide another sign-up sheet, but she messaged me that she was not able to come today, so.
Okay. So you can always just send those out by email, like the usual. And then I think that's all she had for me to say, other than to thank everyone who's been volunteering at the event. So. Going well.
City librarians report, so, attached to your packet, you will find everything we did in April. It was a lot quieter than not by much, but it was a little bit higher than March. March was very busy because of spring break. But as you see there, our door counts were a little bit lower, except for here at the main, and then some of our circulations was a little bit lower as well. But we were jam-packed with lots of really great programs. I mean, we had to take your child to work day, and had 3 members of our staff show what they do every day to their children, which is really great. We are continuing to make our collections better and rearrange things and recatalog things so people can access them and find them a lot with more ease. We added a new activity cart to West because we found that families who went to West Salem didn't have much to do there. So we added an activity cart with lots of things to do, from Legos to crafts to just board games, so they have something to do while they're there and they're staying, they can enjoy the space. Because before I think it was just like a little kids area with a table and coloring pages, and then that's it. So this is more robust, so people can spend some time there. We had some really great bilingual workshops like the Pinata one, which brought in a lot of new people to our library, which is always great. We also had the National Library, which was really great and had a couple of passive displays about sharing your joy. And we received some great feedback from our patrons about what brings them joy to the library, Library Week. We also recognized and celebrated our staff here by the leadership team. All of the supervisors and I brought food and snacks and drinks for the staff to show them how much we appreciate them. A lot of crafting and the baby rave, which is, we're gonna have another baby rave. Those are so popular, and you know, both parents and children alike love to come and dance. And I think music and just having those programs where people can connect with others, especially moms and dads, because it's when you're a parent, it's really hard to find that network and that support, especially if you're going through the same thing. You have another parent to relate to and to share tips and tricks with. So these programs really help connect other parents and families together. You'll also see this really great picture of the library bookmobile. Yesterday, we just accepted a recognition award from the Salem Kaiser School District because Miss Jessica, who oversees the bookmobile outreach, went to over 25 schools, and she signed up over 1,000 first graders with their first library card. And we're recognizing her for all of those efforts. So this is just a little snapshot of one of her events, and it's really, really great because, you know, those are sometimes the first experience those kids have with the library and with the bookmobile. So trying to engage them and just share that love of reading, and all those in there they get to keep if they want. So and those are funded through the state grant of Ready to Read. Really great. A little update that's not on here is the deputy director position. So we are still ongoing with that, and right now going through negotiations per se. But we're trying to get this really highly qualified candidate over here, and it's just taking a little bit longer to do so. So I hope to provide a final update for you, hopefully by the end of this week. We did give a deadline for this Friday to either give us a final yes or no, but the candidate that we're looking into would have to relocate. So I think that's part of the struggle, especially now with gas and moving costs and expenses. It's just a lot. And that kind of concludes our busy month of April. It's just been.
And there was one thing that Gretchen and I did an outreach for the Head Start that I didn't see in here.
You did not see it there?
Well, I mean, I didn't see that it might be there,
Yeah.
but we did crafts
Oh.
with kids at the Head Start out on Silverton Road.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
Make sure to add that.
yeah, she's nice. Gretchen was much better at it than me. And we may or may not have damaged your table cover with permanent marker.
That was you? No,
Yes.
I'm kidding.
I told him to blame me. So it was fun. All right, any questions for Bridget? Yes, David.
Yeah, I know we can't do any motions because we don't have any quorum yet, but I would like to, this was amazing when I read the report, invite Jessica to our June meeting, just to thank her for all the work she's done in getting first graders to sign up. That's amazing. That is amazing. So I know I can't do a motion recognition, but maybe we can do that at next month's.
That's a reasonable request. I could definitely ask her. I don't think she works the evening. I'll see what we can do.
See if you
I
can
think
flex
this
it.
would be yeah, we'll see what we can.
Yeah, so I think it's appropriate to recognize. At least that's my opinion. I can't speak for the rest of them. And then the other question I have is, has there been any movement at all on the part of the city in terms of talking about new locations for library branches. I know there was the same passing 2 years ago for additional branches. I know there's a lot of work to be done. Do you have any updates for us on that? Or any of them?
No, other than during the budget process, Josh did kind of mention in the budget committee meetings that in the capital improvement plan, there are money reserved, I think right now, 1 million towards that land acquisition. And one of the counselors there asked, what is that? Pretty much the same exact question is when will we start seeing plans and movement of what's the next steps for the 2 locations? And he pretty much explained it in a very much more eloquent way that I'm going to right now, is that land acquisition, that's pretty much all of what the bond pays for, is just the land acquisition. And then after that, there is no more funds allocated for building the actual space or to fund it for actually purchasing everything that you would require for a library or even staffing it. So we would need to look at other ways or areas or see where we're at in that time period when that happens, to see what we can offer. And that's what that's the challenges that we're gonna have to navigate, find us possible solution for, if any, because even now we're still struggling to fund and staff these locations. And one of the things that I took out from the library audit is that our staff here are doing the same amount of work and providing the same level of services, sometimes beyond some of our comparable libraries, with so much lower funding, with so much lower staffing. And I think we were at the 1:87 ratio, and we were right along with all the other ones. I mean, of course, there's districts like Deschutes Library that have a special district where they are very robustly funded, which they're actually, on Monday, they opened a brand new library branch, and it's gorgeous inside. I mean, I saw the virtual tour, and I mean, we would love to be at that stage one day, but until there's new revenue found or new ways to fund either the general fund or community services fund, whatever it is that they're going to be looking into, I don't see right now we're still at just the land acquisition phase of it, and that's it. But I did hear, because I asked that, remember the what is it, the revenue task force that was happening the year before, that's going to get restarted again. It's going to get rebranded, and that should start in September. And that brought me hope, because to me, that's being proactive and finding more stable funding and revenue for the city as a whole.
And thank you. And I guess maybe this is a question for Nathan, but can the money for that project, is it solely to be used for purchase, or can it be purchased property, or can it be used to lease property, like space for example, space in a mall, something like that, or is it restricted?
This is in the terms of the bond levy that we passed. I'd have to read up on that. I don't know.
I figured you wouldn't have it off the top, but if that's something,
Yeah.
I've been curious about that, because again, as we're looking towards funding for the future, we're gonna look at or whatever the levy group decides to do or looks at is, if it looks at a concern, either renewing for another 5 years or a community service district, it'd be nice to know kind of what the future costs are. Because you're right, it's limited in what was approved, and there is the kind of the infrastructure that needs to be.
My hunch is that if it's going so slow, it's just land.
That's my guess, but
So
thanks to clarify.
just if it was flexible, they would be spinning their wheels as fast as possible to lease buildings, so.
2 years ago, they did, the budget committee did ask that question, if those 6 million allotted, 6.3, I believe it is, if that can get put to something else, because that's, this was at the time when they were gonna cut us completely. So that was one of the questions, well, can we use that money to save the library now? And the answer that I heard was like, well, that would require, going back and looking at the terms of that bond, because we're limited to what that verbiage is. And I think it was very general, but I think there is no leeway to what that promise, it was for land acquisition.
Let's look at that kind of stuff.
So because that was, I mean, that everybody had that same question. We had that question. It's like, instead of cutting us so deeply, just use the bond money, but it's not that easy because it's promised and voted upon by the community, and that's what it is. But I'll leave that to a lawyer.
Okay, Nathan's working on that. Okay, anything else for Bridget? I thought of the one thing that I forgot. November 11th is one of our scheduled board meetings, which is on a holiday. So I don't know if can move it plus or minus a day or a plus or minus a week. But that was just something to put on the radar for.
Yeah.
It's Veterans Day and the library is closed, so.
Yeah, I think we were gonna probably ask you guys what you wanted to do, if you wanted to skip a meeting or if you wanted to, because we don't know your availability. We can definitely do it on the following day, but you all have plans or things going on, then.
Since we have a kind of skeleton crew here, maybe we can just add that to the next meeting to ask people their interest, because we also don't meet in December, so that would be 2 months that we don't meet, so. It seems like we should maybe figure out another date. Okie dokie, lost my place. This is why I'm not the chair. Friends of the Library, I think I just heard, Clyde, that there was no Friends of the Library meeting this week.
Not this week, but the only thing I have to report is we had the book sale and we grossed around $5,000. So we don't have a final accounting yet of what the net profit is, but they did pretty well.
That's great.
I have a question about, I think it's Friends of the Library. A while back, we had a lady came and she talked about the storage buildings that are being used to store books. And I gave her a bunch of names of people that the books could be donated to, that I checked with them and they would welcome them. Was that the Friends of the Library or was that the foundation?
No, it's Friends.
Okay.
They collect books all year for the book sale and also for sale in their bookshop at the library.
Do you know if any of those books were donated to, it was the Boys and Girls Club and Family Building Blocks and a couple other nonprofits that I connected her with?
I don't, but I can find out.
Okay, yeah, it seems kind of backwards to be paying rent to store books when there are people that would willingly take donations, that would give the books to the children and the people who can't afford them otherwise.
Well, what they do is they gather donations, and I guess from what I understand, they get a ton of donations. I mean, people drop off boxes and boxes of books. They sort through them, choose some that are going to be put into the shop for sale, the store, save some for the book sale, and then they have 3 or 4 organizations that they donate some of the overflow to.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Good.
So there is some that's being donated
Okay.
out into the community.
And if there's any, like, if you know of any particular place that does want donation, just reach out to me and I'll connect you to the person. To Nancy, she's always willing to give away books.
Okay.
Because they have so much in storage, and they did get another closer storage solution unit. So I think they're gonna try to get rid of some. So yeah. Let me know.
Okay, I will do that.
Alrighty, any other questions for Clyde? Hey, foundation report. We have foundation is here.
That's me.
Cameron
Yeah.
is not, she is.
She's having fun in Europe, right? So I thought I'd come and join you all, and just kind of give a quick update and see if folks have questions. So we are, you might have seen, I don't know if it's out yet, we just sent out a survey, or we're working on a survey. It's already time to start thinking about Salem Reads 2027, so we're asking folks for book recommendations. So if you haven't seen that survey out yet, it'll go out soon. Trying to compile just a list of books that folks are interested in. And then we'll go through a selection process to land on a book for Salem. I think just given the success of the last Salem reviews and having the author here, we're really starting to think about increase that programming. Start planning a little bit earlier this year. We are the Foundation Board just approved a little over $12,000 in Sprinkle Grant awards. For folks who aren't familiar with the Sprinkle Grants, we take applications from library staff on what's supposed to be, you know, the sprinkles on a cupcake or the sprinkles on a cake, little something that either improves patron experience here at the library or staff experience. You know, we do our best to kind of plan for most things as we develop our budget. But as the year goes on, you know, staff think of things. So we ask them to submit applications. And we were able to fund almost all of them, which is always really exciting. And I'll be really happy to share with this group what some of those projects look like. Probably at your next meeting, we'll have a little report out on what those are. But I haven't told the staff yet. So I'm not gonna tell you all what they are. But more to come on that. And then, you know, our fiscal year is gonna start on July 1, so we're starting to think about budget and how the foundation can continue to fulfill our mission to work on enhancement and support of the Salem Public Library. So looking forward to building that out, and had a great meeting with Bridget about some of the needs that the library has, and really looking forward to continuing to fund and enhance as we have in the past.
Great. Thank you very much. Any questions for Taylor? All right, levy oversight committee, David?
Yeah, we had a meeting a few weeks ago to kind of first meeting in several months, and focus was on the library audit. That was done, and I think Bridget, you shared the audit with the. So I think that the focus, one of the focus was on one of the recommendations for a volunteer coordinator. And the recommendations was it would be nice to have one person as a clearinghouse for all the volunteer opportunities here at the library. And the initial recommendation was to fund that position by cutting materials, but I think city leadership rethought that. So they're funding it a different way, which I'm pleased to hear, because the materials budget is I think sacrosanct, because they take a lot of hit on that. So so that's good, and hopefully look at having a volunteer coordinator sometime in fall of this year, which is kind of exciting. I think that was the big recommendation, the big comment that came out of it. I think they walked through, as Bridget talked about, some of the challenges that staff have. You know, given the volume of activity here, the limited number of staff. So I think that was discussed as well. So I think it was a good report. I think there's some good recommendations that are coming forward to that. There'll be, I believe, an audit sometime late fall of the parks sometime next year, I think, again, Center 50. So good opportunity for us to take a look at it. But it's a good start to take a look at some of the challenges that we all know about, but I think the rest of the community doesn't know about. The library deals with.
And when's your next meeting?
June.
Sometime in June.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then I haven't got a confirmation yet, sometime in June.
Okay.
Actively.
Alrighty, any questions for David? Did you pick was the audit just selected just because it was a thing that was available and done to talk about for the oversight committee?
I think it was just kind of luck of the draw.
Okay.
That the library had it's time for the library to have their audit, so.
Okay.
that's what they did.
It was just timing.
Yes,
That's how this is explained to me.
they, I mean, the city overall does ongoing audit. And that's a way for them to show transparency and efficiency for the tax dollars that are invested.
Okay.
And so every department sooner or later will get audited.
I just meant for the oversight committee
Oh,
agenda, just why did the
Why was
library
that?
just got lucky to go for, okay,
oh, yes,
that was my question. No, I
got it.
I know why you got off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all the information items, discussion items, strategic plan goal updates. I think we have any other than people are volunteering, which is great. Library budget update for fiscal year 26-27.
Well, if you have not been paying attention to the budget committee meetings, they just concluded last week and they approved the budget as recommended by the city manager. As David mentioned, they did reinstate our materials and services budget. So now we're getting the full amount and they're offloading that cost by delaying the start date of the volunteer manager that should be starting. So from what I hear, everything is going to move along pretty quickly and they're going to start digging more into the budget, the next council meetings and recommendations or modifications if any of them, fit. But yeah, I think everything went pretty well. I mean, we're pretty much staying in line as of this year. We're not losing staff, which is great. And we're keeping pretty much everything at the.
Just a quick question, and I did not keep as close touch with the budget process this year as I did in the past, but if you receive a donation, let's say from Foundation of Friends, is that incorporated into your overall budget, or is that listed as a separate item, or?
It is not part of it does not go into the city funds. That's a separate, kind of like enhanced. So, like Taylor was saying that we're going through the budget process. So all of those funds are already designated for particular use. And it's usually mostly for enhancements, like to pay for more programming, to pay for, they actually helped us pay for extra tables. They helped us, do a variety of things. And those are the things that we can't pay through our own city budget because we don't have. So they're just enhancements.
Okay, so they're just enhancements. So let's say, if for whatever reason, Foundation can't give you everything that you want, does that impact other things that you do, or is that just kind of a separate budgeting process?
We're very fortunate that we have 3 support boards. I mean, we have 2 support boards and then we have a lab with funding as well. So anything that isn't covered to the day-to-day operations of my general budget, that's when we come here and ask. And so if it's something dire, I would have to cut something else from my budget if it's not approved through my support.
Any other questions, Bridget, on budget? We have a short agenda, which is good. Action items, we don't have anything miscellaneous. I'm looking at anything miscellaneous.